Hello, everyone. We are live. We are live. We are here. I want you to I want you to know. First of all, you've probably noticed the name change. The name change. So, we are changing from Creative Business Masters. I just wanted to talk about this before we get started. We are changing from that to Mega Selling Artists. And the reason I'm making the change, I thought I'd share that with you, is as I was thinking through the weekend, I'm like, who do we really want to be as artists, as creatives, as makers? Who do we really want to be? Well, we really want to be mega selling artists. So that's why we have changed the name. We are now mega selling artists. Woohoo! I hope you can celebrate that with me as much as I am excited about that. So, the question today is, do you know what your customers really want? Do you know what your customers really want? The reason we are talking about that is because that is really the key to be able to sell without feeling sleazy, right? Even if you're really uncomfortable with sales, you don't like sales, and even if your customer isn't telling you exactly what they want. Have you ever had customers like that? Man, I have. I have. I've been that customer. I've been that customer that doesn't really want to tell the person that I'm dealing with, or, about it, all the details as to what I want to buy and why. Because that feels very vulnerable. And then you feel like, yeah, if they know all that, they've got me. So we're going to be talking about that today. And I'm going to really be giving you the big secret to increasing your sales without selling yourself out and without being pushy. We don't want to be pushy. I think as an artist, that was really my biggest struggle when it came to selling, is I was just so afraid of being pushy. I didn't want to offend anyone, and that got in the way of my sales. And when I started changing that up, and I've seen this with all of my clients, when you start switching that mindset and that sales psychology to be focused on your customer and not about you and how you feel, it completely changes the whole dynamic of a sales conversation. So that's what we're talking about today. Welcome. Welcome to Mega Selling Artist. I see a few of you are here. Please say hello. I see Sarah. Good morning. Thank you for being here. You can pop that in the comments. I do have my comments up. So if you are here, I'd love to hear from you. And it really doesn't matter. I want to say this too. It does not matter, although I love it when you are here live. It doesn't matter. If you are here watching this in the replay, please say hello. Hashtag replay, hello, make your comments. I have my alerts on, my notifications on my Facebook. So those will pop up in my notifications, and I always go and check them out. Now, sometimes I have hundreds of notifications, so it takes me a while to get back to them, but I will always get back to you. Whether it's you have a question or you just want to say, how your weekend went or whatever. And there's Jamie. Jamie made it in today. Always, please say hello, because this is a conversation for me. I come in here and I give you training and I show up, and I love being here with you guys. But the reason I really love being here with you guys is because this is an exchange for me. I know we're all not best friends here, but I consider you all my friends. Because even though maybe some of us have never met, and some of you may be across the world, good morning. I see another good morning. You're still all here together. We have something in common, and this is a powerful community when we can all work together and share each other on and encourage each other and share information. And so this is a community that I am so proud to be a part of, and I hope you are too. All right, for those of you in the States, it was a holiday weekend. How was your holiday weekend? I'll tell you what, it's really hot here. We are under heat advisories. Heat advisories meaning even though the temperature is 101, it feels like it's like 108. So I hope that it is a little better wherever you're at. We are just really staying indoors and trying to stay cool these days. All right, let's get into it. What's your goal? What's your goal for your business? I want you to think, I want you to really go in. I want you to start feeling what's your goal for your business? What is your dream? What is your dream for your business? That's part of what mega selling artists, right? That should inspire that dream. And what is it you want your business to do for your life? How do you see your business fitting into your life? What is it going to change for you? What is your business going to create in your life that is different from where you're at right now? I want you guys to take that couple minutes every day to reconnect with that. Reconnecting with that is the key. We've talked about this before. The key to being able to motivate you. Sorry, we have a new puppy and I'm watching her eat a plant. Hey, Gigi, no. She's eating a plant off a table. Because being able to tap into that is what's going to be able to inspire you and keep you going and motivated even when this gets tough. And we know this is tough. This is not easy. This is not easy. The processes that we use are actually simple, but actually applying it is not. You know, when you learn to play tennis, when you learn to play an instrument, it takes practice. It takes several times to get it right. I recently went bowling for a friend's birthday. And as we were bowling, and I'll admit, I am not a good bowler. It's just, it's probably something I would enjoy, I could be good at, but it's not something that I really focus my energy and time into being good at. But here's what I want to say about it. As we were watching each other bowl, and just so y'all know, Jamie here is an excellent bowler. And what I was noticing is, you know, he has a routine. There's a set routine that every time he uses. And that's how we need to be as artists when we're selling. It needs to be so comfortable to us that it's second nature. We don't really have to think about all the moving pieces and parts like I do when I bowl. I have to think about every single piece's part, which kind of gets in the way of the end goal. But it takes practice to be able to get to where it's like all second nature. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're working on here inside of Mega Selling Artists. So every time you show up, you're getting more practice. You're putting it in your brain. You're reprogramming those paradigms, and that is going to change eventually. And it's different for all of us as to when all those things click and all of those things work together and the magic happens. And sometimes the magic happens, and then you're like, oh, that was awesome. But then you can't reproduce it again right away. It takes a while to get it to where it's consistent. Right? Like I can bowl a strike every once in a while, but then if the next time I go up to bowl, I'm probably not going to get another strike because I just don't have the routine down. That's what we're developing in here. So I'm really happy that you're here with us. This is something I'm really proud to be doing and helping you guys along. I'm Shawna St. James. I'm the founder of Creative Business Masters and Mega Selling Artists. And really, what I do is I help professional artists basically sell more art without being sleazy, even if they have no customer experience as far as selling before, even if they really were uncomfortable with selling. That's what we do here. We're changing that dynamic. We're reprogramming your paradigm so that sales becomes second nature and easy to you so that you can sell more art, more art. I'm sorry for the squeaking in the background, if you guys can hear that. I should have taken away the squeaky toys before I got on live. All right, I want to talk about customers and knowing what they want. Let's think about this scenario. Car shopping. Right? Car shopping. There are different buyers who buy a Mercedes versus the people who go and buy the Hyundai, right? Or the little any car. The people who buy Toyota Priuses are completely different and driven by different motivators than the people who buy Land Rovers, right? When we are selling high ticket items, we really want to make sure that we are thinking like our customers, that we understand our customers. So let's be honest, most of the time, and I'm not saying that, um, the people who buy a Range Rover would never buy a Toyota Prius. We're not saying that, but I want you to understand here, we're getting into the secret of really being able to sell without the slime. To be able to sell without the slime, you have to know what your customers really want. That is the secret. It is the magic sauce. If it's an ice cream sundae, it's the chocolate sauce with the whipped cream and the cherry on top. This is how we get to those selling those high ticket offers with ease. So let's talk about that. So people who want to buy a Mercedes, we need to be able to think like them. They have income, right? They have an income where they have a surplus of income. And maybe they want to buy the Mercedes because of the reputation for dependability and reliability and safety. Or maybe they just want to buy the Mercedes because it's a status symbol. For them, it represents success. You can see how when you're marketing to those different aspects, you've got to make sure you're pointing out completely different things, right? People want different things out of their vehicles. So to be a mega selling artist and to sell high ticket offers, we really want the customers who want that high level product, which means we have to understand why they want it. We have to understand how they think to be able to sell to them, to be able to make sure our product aligns with all those things they want. So those Mercedes buyers, there are different lines even within Mercedes. Okay, so let's say we're just dealing with a Mercedes buyer. Some people may want an SUV. Some people may want the little tiny, fun, zippy Sportster. Some people just want the classic Mercedes sedan. And they all have different reasons for wanting those. They all have different reasons for, maybe one of them wants the really sleek leather interior. They want the reason why they're buying a Mercedes is they want the sound system and the comfort that comes inside of the cabin of the vehicle. And other people are buying the Mercedes because they just want a really fast car with power. So you get what I'm saying here. And we could go on and on about that. So I want to talk about the reason why we want to know what our customers want. And that's where we want to market. They want the luxury. Yeah. When we have customers who want the luxury, we want to be sure that we're thinking like those customers so that we can communicate with them how our product meets that demand for luxury. You getting it? This was really hard for me because when you're not in that position, you don't really think like that. So for those of us who have a lot of extra money per month, it's easier for us to think about how we would go about buying art or a high-end car versus someone who really doesn't have an extra $5,000, $10,000 a month, right, sitting on the side. You think differently, but we have to learn to be able to think like that to be able to find those buyers. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only kind of buyer we're going to have. We're just talking about one specific kind of buyer today, and that is the buyer who is looking for high-end luxury products. And here's the key. They all have different motivators behind why they want the features they want. So not only do we have to understand what unique features they want, we have to understand the other side of it. What do those features represent for them? What do those features mean for them? How do those features fulfill them? So the example I can think of here is, let's just take colors. As artists, we're creatives, but you know how when you're selling to a customer, some people will be like, oh my gosh, I can't stand that painting because it's got pink in it. And another person is like, what's wrong with pink? I love pink. Well, that's because it's the same painting, but what people get out of those colors feels completely different for each person. One person may see pink as cheerful and fulfilling, and another person may be thinking, yeah, no, that color just completely, maybe there's some association, right? The paradigm that's been written in their head that the color pink represents something negative for them. So we have to be able to, every single customer we're dealing with, every single client, prospective lead, we have to be able to pull those out of them, to be able to really get that out of them, to be able to understand how to meet their needs, how to meet their motivators. It's not just about the features, right? Yeah, the size matters, the subject matters, but really, what's the big motivator behind them wanting a great piece of art? It's all about the emotional connection. Yes, thank you. Who's the Facebook user? I'm so sorry, I can't see your name. Facebook user. Thank you. Yes, it's all about that emotional connection that they have. And more than that, it's not just the emotional connection, but what it does for them. What it does for them. So this is kind of this is something we really dig deep into inside the sales psychology for artists. Kathy, good to see you. Thank you, Kathy. um, when we are dealing with buyers, we have to understand how our products can fulfill that motivating factor, that thing behind the feature that they want. When we can tie into those, we can make sales so much simpler. And really, the reason why it feels good is because you know that you are fulfilling a need for that person. You are fulfilling a want, a desire, a motive. You're helping that client get what they need, what they want. It's no longer about you pushing your product on them. It's about making sure that your product fits into what they need. And here's the side caveat. It is so much easier to sell to a client that already has that desire that we understand, that they understand that art can fulfill, than trying to sell to someone who doesn't understand why they would want their Mercedes, right? They're like, well, I'd just be happy with Hobby Lobby. Trying to completely repack their backpack. How many of us know what I'm talking about here? That backpack that carries all those paradigms, all the things that we think about, all the mindsets that we have in our brain, right? Our mind is like a backpack. Trying to completely change those mindsets and completely rewire someone's paradigms for why you want to buy a high-end product when they are wired for buying a low-end product, whether it's because of economy or whatever their reason is, trying to completely re-educate and change someone's brain rewiring is really hard, right? Let's think about how hard it is for us to make changes. We talk about this all the time, how when we're in here as artists, we're trying to rewire our paradigms and rewire the way we think about sales and how we approach customers. Making those kind of changes is hard. So trying to make those customer changes in someone else, trying to change what's in their backpack, is even harder. It can be done, but we don't really need to be spending all of our energy on the people who really just want the economy product. We want to spend our energy on the people who are already looking for the product that we want. And when we understand what motivates them to have the product, when we're selling a $5,000 piece, we're not looking for someone who wants to buy the Toyota Prius or the Hyundai. So when we understand how they think and how our product can fulfill those needs, we're golden. Selling is so easy then. So that's where I want you to dig in. I want you to really dig into that. How do your features of your product fulfill the needs and the motivators of your buyer? And then make sure, one step further, make sure that you're including that in your posts, in your videos, in your promotions, and especially in your conversations. When you get a client on a call, when you get a client in a message chat, make sure you're connecting with those deep reasons. That's going to make all the difference to you, because really, to be a mega selling artist, we want to sell to the high ticket. We want to sell high ticket offers to customers who want high-end luxury products. Now, that's not to say that there is someone else who isn't necessarily, you don't have to be mega rich to want a high-end luxury product. There are people who have an average amount of income who will save up for a high luxury product. There are a lot of middle-class American families who will save up to do the big Disney Universal Studios vacation, right? When that's the goal that they set. So we want to be looking for people who have the goal of making sure that their environment is not just comfortable, but inspiring. So let's start looking for those customers and know what they want, know what features they want, know what those features represent for them, and make sure you share and demonstrate how your product fulfills that. Bingo. That's what you need. You guys can do this. You guys are pros. You guys are pro artists, and I love being here with you and making sure that we just see different sides of how we can sell to our users. It's such a great feeling when you're buying from someone who understands you. Yeah, it does. It makes a big difference for me whether I will buy. And Sarah says emotional connection is vital. I work with them on color choice, what they're expecting, and the vibe. Yeah. Yeah. And when customers who want high-end luxury products, they want good customer service. Some people might buy from Mercedes, we'll go back to the car, just because they know that they're going to get great customer service. So think about how you can fit into that. All right, I'm going to sign off. I actually went a little longer today than I planned. So thank y'all for being here. We will be here again next week, 10 a.m. Central, for another Mega Selling Artist Live. And one more thing before we go, notice there is a new free training available for you. If you look at the top above me, the top of the Facebook header, you can click on that. It's the 5 biggest video mistakes you should avoid when you're creating videos for your customers and your clients and for your marketing. We spent a lot of time while I had COVID on making sure that we know how to make good videos for our audience. So you can grab that, make sure that you just click on the header there. I'll also be posting it throughout the week, but you click on that, it'll take you to a page, you enter your email, and then that's going to be headed off to your email inbox. All right, take care, everyone.